the outset, we on this program recognized how deadly our involvement was. We said it was a mistake. And we keep on asking the question, and I would love an answer from somebody without insulting, smear, or slander. Why is Russia our enemy? So please, and speak slowly because I might not understand. Why should we be at war against Russia? What have they done to us? Okay, not a good country. They don't embrace free speech. Putin is an oligarch. They have corrupted elections. Totally agree with all that. I'm not saying it sarcastically. Why are they an enemy worthy of getting closer and closer to nuclear war? So Russia literally has thousands of nuclear weapons, more than we do. A mistake at this conflict, an accidental escalation, could blow up the entire planet. And breaking today, on the 1,000th day of the Russian-Ukrainian war, it's hard to even put into words how reckless, how irresponsible our ruling class is. American-made missiles are now being shot into the interior of Russia. Now, I want you to imagine how America would respond if the cartels on the southern border were shooting in Russian missiles into America. These people, I'm going to put this as crisply as I can. The American left would rather see the world burn and blow up the world than give up power.
What's going on, guys? This video is going to be an update on my video about, is Biden trying to leave us a world war as a parting gift, right? I didn't think this would happen, right? Honestly, I just thought, okay, maybe this is saber rattling, right? Many of you guys thought, nah, they're going to launch these missiles the moment they have the chance. And it seems like many people in the comment section was right about this. Russia changes nuclear policy as Ukraine fires. Yes. Yesterday, Ukraine had fired, I believe, 6 U.S.-made missiles. And many people, and you saw in the intro, Charlie Kirk pretty much reflects my entire sentiment of how I see the war. I don't necessarily see Russia as an enemy. Like, I'm like, hey, they didn't personally do anything to me. Yes, I don't like the way they run their country. Yes, I don't like the way things are ran over there. But that's their business, right? That's Russia's business. Like, this principally American. I'm American first. I'm gonna care about my problems. You care about your problems. As long as you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. And this war, it's almost seen as, to me, a way for Washington, the whole apparatus, to pull America into this war. I want to read a little bit of the news to you all so you guys get a better picture of what happened on the 1,000th day of war. And 5 days when this war happened, right, they had an opportunity to already come into a peace negotiation with Russia 5 days after the war was started by Putin. And they would still have most of their land. And the fact that the U.S. went in and squashed all negotiations of a peace war. They wanted to continue the war. The fact that they dragged out this war, Ukraine will lose more land if they go into a peace agreement after 2025 than if they did it during 2022 when the war started initially. Make it make sense. So that means if you had listened to the recommendations, you would have kept more of your land, Ukraine. But no, after billions of dollars, justifying all this foreign aid spending that we're sending to Ukraine, 100% of the tax money going into Ukraine, but we don't get no benefit from it as American people. Only the elites get a benefit over it. You lose track of $1 billion that was sent to Ukraine. You don't know what happened to the money. The American sentiment for the war for Ukraine started waning. And now, on the 1,000th day, Biden end up, I'm going to give you the authorization. And you don't even wait a day. The paint didn't even dry on the paper yet. Fire immediately. This is ridiculous. I digress. Let's get in some information in the article. And then I got a 3-minute clip for you with Charlie Kirk. Ukraine's military fired several long-range American missiles into Russia this week on the 1,000th day of the war, making it the first time it has been done so since Russia invaded in early 2020. 22, sorry. 6 American-made, I don't know how to say that, rockets, missiles were used in a pre-dawn attack that struck an ammunition depot in Russia's Bryansk region. Russia claimed it shot down 5 of the 6 missiles, but that the information has not been independently verified. The attack just came a couple of days after Biden authorized Ukraine to use American-made missiles for strikes inside Russia after resisting Ukraine's request to do so many months. Why all of a sudden now, Biden? No, now that he lost, he's like, hey, F it. We'll do what we want. Some analysts were concerned that the strikes represent an escalation in the war, while others believe that the strike strengthens Ukraine's negotiation position ahead of President-elect Donald Trump coming back. And this is where, if you watch my last video when I talked about Biden authorizing this, I gave the perspective of Ben Shapiro, who's very pro-interventionist, and how he talks about how, yeah, this is just a means of strengthening Ukraine's position in the negotiation table. But doing it now, wouldn't that also be that if Russia does not retaliate, that will weaken his position in negotiations? This country has way more nukes than we got, if I remember correctly. And you want to try them before, this is more than saber rattling. I would have believed you if you had said, yeah, we just authorized to use U.S. missiles, so that, hey, don't F with us. We got missiles that we could use against you now, Russia. That is strengthening your position. Launching them into his soil, that's not strengthening the position. I'm sorry. That is not. And I'll argue with anybody on that. That's escalation. If I'm strapped up, right? If I'm like, hey, look, I'm willing to fight you, that's leverage that's strengthening my leverage. But if I actually strike you, that's escalation. I understand where these guys, this is just a roundabout way of justifying their actions. The New York Times reported that the event that changed Biden's mind about Ukraine being able to use the missiles was North Korea sending thousands of troops into Ukraine to fight for Russia. A Ukrainian official said the strike hit warehouses containing artillery and munitions, including North Korea's ammunition for their systems. On the same day as the strike, Vladimir Putin lowered his country's threshold for using nuclear weapons, a move that has been anticipated since at least September when it was first announced. The new doctrine states aggression against the Russian Federation and its allies by non-nuclear states with the participation or support of a nuclear state is considered as their joint attack. So he's considering that America and Ukraine are attacking Russia. That's a clear escalation. Clear. The White House secretary was not surprised by Putin lowering the threshold, according to Fox News. Observing no changes to Russia's nuclear posture, we have not seen any reasons to adjust our nuclear posture or doctrine in response to Russia's statements today. This is all they acted within our expectations. But what happens when Putin stops acting within your expectations? These people don't have a plan, man. Their whole goal is get us into a war. And they'll pull all these little rationalizations to justify what they're doing right now. But I digress. I'm gonna show you this clip with Charlie Kirk, and he perfectly explains my whole view on this thing, and I think it's important that you guys hear it as well. So let's take a look.
They are handing Donald Trump potentially nuclear war. Obama's ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul, a lunatic, has argued that we can win a nuclear war with Russia. That is so insane, it's not even worthy of our attention. This is Don Bacon, who, again, I'm glad he won his seat because now we have a House majority because of it, and that's critically important. But there's just a perfect picture of the D.C. consensus, the war machine. Play cut 24.
Let's let Ukraine fight hard and go after military targets in Russia that are attacking or bombing Ukrainian cities. And I don't know why they waited till now to do it, but I'm glad they made that change. Now, I talked to President Zelensky personally on this, and this was his number one issue: remove the rules of engagement that make it harder for them to fight the war. And so I support that. Now, I do have concerns by some of the things that I would say the lack of moral clarity from the former president, the future president.
You had to sneak that in there, Don Bacon, former president and future president. What lack of moral clarity exactly does President Trump lack? He doesn't want nuclear war. There are military figures in Ukraine who are 100% committed to this war. They don't care if they start a nuclear war, as long as it brings America in and as long as it destroys Russia, even if hundreds of millions of people die. Donald Trump wants an end to the killing. He wants the war to end. So taking a step back here, on the 1,000th day of war, I want to just repeat the news that is now breaking today. We have been worrying about this for quite some time. CNN breaking news. Ukraine fires U.S.-made longer-range missiles into Russia, Russian state media reports. Ukraine has fired U.S.-made ATA-CMS missiles into Russia's Bryansk region. Russian state media reported Tuesday, citing the country's defense ministry, after the Biden administration gave Kiev the green light to use the longer-range weapons against targets inside Russia. So the missiles are attacking. So most of the missiles were shot down, but now American-made weaponry is being used as an offensive war into the interior of Russia. Do we want a hot war with Russia? Are we already in a hot war with Russia? Do we want to get closer to a nuclear war? Is their plan to hand this unspeakable mess to Donald Trump? And why now? The only explanation could be that this bipartisan group of war worshipers want to screw up the Donald Trump presidency so much, they would rather watch the world burn than give up power.
No one can tell me that these people, like, there's not an interest. Like, they have some this cabal in Washington, the deep state, the bureaucrats, these people in these security councils, in the Pentagon. This is a way maybe to justify increasing their budget. Maybe they're getting some back end deal. Who knows? Because it seems like every time we send money to Ukraine, or we send money, oh look, $1 billion just went missing in the Pentagon. If you watch my Vivek video, when Vivek exposes how government wastes our money, it's a recent video I made. I show you how the deputy secretary defense, the secretary of defense, Caitlin Hicks, if I remember her name correctly, she could not tell you. She said, "Oh, it's not waste, fraud, or abuse. If we lose track of money in the Pentagon, we just don't know where it went." That is exactly what waste, fraud, and abuse is. Because we don't know where it went, we have to assume the worst. Hey, someone's appropriating these funds. They're using it for something else. And this is how I see this foreign policy stuff in the first place. This is a way of them to money launder. That's just my opinion. Hey, you could think, you let me know yours in the comment section, but that's honestly what I think. I think these people are using a war as the chaos they need to siphon money away from the taxpayers, the American taxpayer. Everyone benefits. Oh, you gonna pull 50, you gonna pull 1,000, you gonna pull $1 million, you gonna pull 2 mil. Oh, oops, in the chaos of war, we just lost track of stuff. Yeah, like weapons in Afghanistan. And then we gotta make new ones, right? That's more money we need to spend. Like, what the hell I have never had a lack of faith in our leadership more than I had today. Tucker Carlson. A lame duck president just started a hot war with the world's most dangerous country. All of us are very close to being killed, yet somehow the Republican Speaker of the House hasn't mentioned it in public or in leadership meetings. What is going on? I haven't heard much word. I know for sure. I expect either I didn't find it, but I think Trump gave a response to this and saying how crazy this is. But Russia is starting to build nuclear-resistant shelters. Russia has started mass-producing COB-M mobile bomb shelters designed to protect against nuclear shockwaves, radiation, and conventional threats for up to 48 hours. To me, this looks like, oh, they're preparing for a retaliation. You hit me, I have to hit you back to call it even. But I don't know where we get, like, they say hubris, pride goeth before the fall. I think this is what it is. I think we're getting a little too cocky. Oh, Russia ain't gonna do anything. Russia ain't gonna do anything. Russia ain't gonna do anything. Eventually, you're gonna create a incentive structure where Russia's gonna be like, oh, these people don't take me seriously, so I have to do something serious. It's like what Donald Trump said. It's easier for these people to do all this, say all this, do all this stuff because they don't face personal consequences from this. War hawks like Lindsey Graham talking about we gotta go into Iran. Got no kids, got no vested feelings into the future. And it's just like Charlie Kirk said. What is this? What is the angle here? What is the purpose of this? All months, you were saying you were resisting Ukraine. No, don't fire. You lose an election. Now you're like, yeah, let's leave them with this mess. And then when things go bad in Trump's economy, when we worrying about war, and people gonna say, you see, look how Trump managed the war. I think that's the play. Who knows? A lot of motivations that could be possibly driving this decision. And as an American, I don't like it. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you agree with Charlie Kirk's synopsis of the situation? Or do you still agree with Ben saying, oh, like Russia ain't gonna really do anything that drastic? It'll be within our expectations. What do you think is the motive for all this action? Do you believe it's political, money, interests? Who knows what it is? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.